Marston's Domain.
Hey everyone, Marson here, and today I want to talk about how likely the 7 characters are that were in the leak that just happened that supposedly is showing off the entire roster. I wanted to make this because instead of talking about if the leak is real or not, I figured why not just look at the characters that were shown and let's see how likely they even are into getting into the game. Now some of these characters I have less points than others, but I just thought this would be an interesting way to look at the leak. So if you want to see my take on if I think the leak is real or not, I have a video on that already, but this one is just going to be on the characters that were shown. So first off, let's start off with Shadow. Now, Shadow to me is an extremely obvious Echo character. A lot of people have already been kind of speculating that he was going to be in the game as an Echo, and we have yet to see him as an assist trophy, even though he's been an assist trophy in past games, and we still haven't seen that yet. The only thing that I've seen people say about Shadow is that his up B would be different from Sonic's because they don't really think he would use the spring, and I don't think so either. And that's where I think they would just do something like they did with Chrom, or maybe Shadow wouldn't be exactly an Echo and would be a little bit more like Isabelle and have some different moves but be similar to Sonic. But either way, Shadow makes a lot of sense, in my opinion. So the next character I want to talk about is Banjo-Kazooie. Now I know that it's actually Banjo and Kazooie because they're 2 characters, but I'm just going to be saying Banjo-Kazooie. So for them, Sakurai has actually talked about them in an interview in the past when talking about Melee. He said that Banjo and Kazooie would be hard to put in due to copyright issues. Now he never explicitly said that he was going to put them in the game or not, but he did mention them in an interview, so it definitely has been thought of at some point. And then now when you look at Microsoft and Nintendo's relationship, they have been doing a lot of things together with cross-play that we would have never seen even just a few years ago. Nintendo was always about just being tight-knit and not doing anything with other companies, at least gaming companies. So it would kind of make a lot of sense there, and Banjo-Kazooie is also a very highly requested character. So there's a pretty strong chance of Banjo-Kazooie being in the game. The next character is Isaac, and this one I don't really have too many points for, except for the fact that this character is also very highly requested, and he has had an assist trophy in the past, and we have yet to see that. And the reason why I've been bringing up assist trophies is because when an assist trophy is shown off, it's kind of solidifying that that character is not going to be in the game, so us not seeing the assist trophy yet means that he could be in the game. Next up we have Ken, which this one, like Shadow, is an extremely obvious Echo fighter to me. Even within the Street Fighter series, Ken is kind of like an OG Echo fighter. So to me, Ken is an absolute no-brainer. I've felt that Ken was going to be in the game because of how much sense it makes to make him an Echo fighter for Ryu. So that character is also very likely. Now for a more interesting one, Mach Rider. Now, this one I think a lot of people would want to write off because it just kind of makes no sense, but in a weird way it makes a lot of sense because each Smash Bros. Game after 64 has always kind of had a really random old school retro character. Melee had Mr. Game & Watch and Ice Climbers, Brawl had Rob, Smash 4 had Duck Hunt Dog, and Pac-Man. I know Mega Man is retro, but in terms of ones that I think people wouldn't expect, I mean, even Pac-Man is a little bit more expected than Duck Hunt Dog. That one was insane. So I think Sakurai would want to keep with the trend of adding old school retro characters that we wouldn't really think of. So to me, Mach Rider makes a lot of sense. So next up we have Geno, which Geno is someone that I actually have believed for a while was going to be in the game, considering how much fan service we've gotten. And Sakurai has actually stated in the past that he's wanted Geno in the game since Brawl. So Sakurai is already on board for it, and we also got the Geno Mii Fighter outfit in Smash 4 when they announced Cloud. So to me, it kind of all adds up for him to be in Smash Ultimate. So I think he's also another very likely choice. And then last up we have Chorus Kids. Now with them, they may seem kind of random, but the Rhythm Heaven series is very, very popular in Japan. And as far as I know, it does decent in the US, but I do know that in Japan, it does very well. So similar to how they had Earthbound back when a lot of people didn't really know about NES, they did it because the Mother series in Japan is very popular, or at least very well known. For other areas of the world, it kind of took Melee to get a lot of people to know who NES was. Not saying that Earthbound didn't have fans, but In terms of the Mother series as a whole, Melee definitely helped popularize the Mother series for all the other areas outside of Japan. And there has also been representation of Rhythm Heaven in Smash Bros. Games already, with Smash Run, various trophies, and even some songs from those games in Smash. So it's not like Rhythm Heaven has had no representation at all in Smash, they've just never had a fighter. So with all these things considered, with all 7 of these characters, I think that all 7 of these are very likely. Chorus Kids are actually someone else that I've seen a decent amount of people say that they wanted in the game. So all of these characters, besides Mach Rider, I would say are pretty well requested characters for Smash Bros. And like I said, Mach Rider makes sense because of the whole old school retro character thing. So to me, all 7 of these characters are very, very likely, regardless of if the leak is real or not. And I know that a point that someone would make is that, well, it's easy just to say, okay, well, these are requested characters, so it's likely that they're going to be in the game. But considering how much fan service they've already showed off for Smash Ultimate, I think it just adds to the whole thing. K. Rool and Ridley were straight up fan service. Dark Samus and Chrom, same thing. They even said it. They said that these are highly requested characters. And I wouldn't be surprised if Simon Belmont was way up on the ballot as well. Maybe not as high as some of the other ones, but definitely up there. People have been mentioning wanting Simon Belmont in Smash for quite a bit. So I thought this would be a fun way to look at this whole leak thing, because instead of looking at if it's real or not, looking at if the characters even have a chance or not, I think gives a different perspective. So even if the leak is completely fake, I still wouldn't be surprised if we got all 7 of these characters. So that's all I really have to say about this. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and want to support me, feel free to subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you all later. Take care, everyone.